Officially, only 3 games remain over in League 2 to settle who's going to go up and who's going to go down. And of course, nothing has been decided just yet, but it can all change this weekend. Who's going to take advantage? We'll get into it next. With another prediction video today, we're taking a look at match number 44. That's right, over in League 2, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe and your one-stop shop for League 2 is right here under one rooski. That's right, Stockport County could seal the bloody deal this weekend with, of course, promotion to League 1, and the likes of Wrexham and Mansfield also looking to get a little bit closer to that as well. And of course, going down at the moment is, of course, the Vegans, and of course, Colchester United destined for, of course, non-league football next season. But it all change still down the foot with the likes of Sutton United and possibly even Grimsby still in that conversation as well. We'll get into it all of it in a second, of course. Big shout out once again to my VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you knew, where the hell have you been, guys and gals? So here we go. Bringing you bang up to date with everything right here under one rooski. But first and foremost, let's recap those results last time around, including my picks, which are around about on the screen, or they should be. Any second. Where's my mouse? Where's my bloody mouse of the house? Of course, let's scoop myself up just a hair over there. And let's get into it. Of course, kicking it off with Mansfield. That's right, 2-0 winners over Forest Green. That was my pick. The final score was a 1-0 win. Ain't too shabby. Meanwhile, Wrexham with a 3-0 win over Crawley. 4-1 win. It was in the final score there. Meanwhile, Doncaster with the 2-0 win over Walsall. 2-1 win it was, real deal. Meanwhile, Morecambe and Crewe, I picked a draw on that one, but Crewe with an important 1-0 win for them as they try to secure a playoff berth at the moment. We were Newport County and Accrington went with a draw there, 3-1 winners for Stanley on the road. Barrow and Bradford did not go ahead. For whatever reason, that game will go ahead again another time. Meanwhile, Harrogate Town with a 2-1 win for Grimsby. That was my pick. 1-0 win it was. Final score there. Colchester United and Stockport. I went with a 2-0 win for Stockport, but it was a 2-1 win. None the same for the league leaders. That's, of course, the state of play there. What about the state of play for the table? Well, it looks like this, guys, right here, right now. It is Stockport County lead the charge. 4 points clear over Wrexham. And, of course, a good chunk of change. 7 points clear over Mansfield. But the big one is, of course, the gap between MK Dons and Stockport, with, of course, Stockport looking to secure the deal this weekend with a win, and of course everything else going their way. Meanwhile, Forest Green Rovers and Colchester are down, of course, in the foot there. Of course, lots of points still be on the offering then. Games in hand for Colchester, which of course include or could drag Sutton United back in the deep end, as well as Grimsby Town perhaps. And of course, the playoffs currently is Crawley, Barrow, Crewe and MK Dons, but do not write out or rule out the likes of Doncaster, Walsall, maybe even Harrogate Town. Lots of arguments to still be had about who's going to go into that top 7. So those are the state of play there. What about the state of play for our own? A little prediction league. Well, we've been away for a little bit, but of course the forms were still there. Of course, but this is the state of play at the moment. Now, this is the table for the previous handful of games combined, and kicking ass, it was Frosty with 15 points for the lead there. Swindon Army, 14 points for himself. Bristol Hinterland got himself 13, again, over the course of maybe 3 or 4 match days, which we ran the league. But, of course, now the overall table looks like this. Take a bloody bow, and it's JSVC with 173 for the board. Of course, Frosty's up there in second with 168. Andy just outside there with 161. You probably think it's a top 3 race right now, but it can all change very, very soon. And when we talk about change, of course, we are going to be taking a look at it this week with 12 games on the offering, 12 points, of course, to be had. And then, of course, we're looking forward to those catch-up games maybe in midweek. So let's get into it. I am a bit bunged up a little bit, so please forgive me if I sneeze, cough, or splutter my way through here. So we are going to look at it first and foremost, and these are the games coming at you this coming weekend, starting, of course, Saturday, April the 13th. And we're going to start with, randomly, we're going to start with Newport County against Tranmere now. These two sides played each other 12 times to 2014, 6 wins for Newport County, 3 for Tranmere, 3 draws. Of course, Newport County, 3-1 win their biggest, scoring 14 goals in those 12 games, 1.17 goals a game on average. Tranmere, though, 2-1 win their biggest, scoring 9 goals in those 12 games, 0.75 goals a game on average. Without a win, though, in the last 4 games are Tranmere, 42% form for them right now. They are 18th with, of course, 51 points for the season. Meanwhile, Newport Newport County, 5 defeats on the spin for them. They are 16th with 55 points for the season as well. Last time around, over in Wales, it was a 2-1 win for Newport County back in August 2022. The reverse fixture at Tranmere was a 2-1 win for Tranmere back in December. The odds for this, though, Newport County 15-8 for the victory, 13-5, of course, is the draw. We've got 13-10 is your Tranmere on this one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw here, point apiece. That's not really going to help anybody either, are they? They're both kind of on the beaches, you would imagine. Meanwhile, Stockport County against Morecambe, I believe, is the next one on the docket. Stockport, of course, looking to secure the deal, and Morecambe could be, the other name in the party there, because Stockport County and Morecambe played each other 5 times. 2007, they've got 1 win for Stockport, 3 for Morecambe, 1 draw. Of course, the biggest win, the only win for Stockport was a 2-1 win, scoring 3 goals in those 5 games. 0.60 goals a game on average. Morecambe, though, boasting a 5-0 win, scoring 11 goals in those 5 games, 2.20 goals a game on average. They're on 33% form. Are Morecambe right now, 2 wins in the last 6. They are 12th with 60 points for the season. Stockport winning 5 of the mounts, and of course, top of the table with 83 points and 92% form for them heading into this. They haven't lost in the last 10 matches, and they did, of course, pick up a 2-0 loss against Morecambe when the last time they played each other in Stockport. That was back in January 2011. The reverse fixture in Morecambe was a 1-1 draw. That was back in December. The odds for this, Stockport 10-3 on for the victory, 92 the draw, 70-2 is your Morecambe here, but Stockport will be celebrating with a 2-0 win, in my eyes, this coming weekend. Then it's Salford against Bradford, of course, coming at you this coming weekend. It's the Graham Alexander Derby, that's right. Played each other 10 times in 2019, 5 for Salford, 3 for Bradford. 2 draws, of course, the biggest win for Salford, 3-0 win, scoring 13 goals in those 10 games, 1.30 goals a game on average. Bradford, though, 3-2 win, their biggest. That's of course, 8 goals scored in those 10 matches, 0.80 goals a game on average. Bradford, of course, failing this season to get anywhere near those playoff spots. 42% form for them right now, however, unbeaten in the last 3, 14th for the table, 57 points for the campaign. Salford, of course, another woeful season for them. 3 defeats on the spin for them, 42% form for them. They're 20th with 47 points for the campaign. Last time around, though, over at, where are we? Salford in the league. It was a 1-0 win for Bradford back in October 2022. The reverse fixture this campaign at Valley Parade was back in January. It was a 1-1 draw. The odds for this, Salford are 6-4 for the victory, 5-2 the draw, 7-4 is your Bradford here. We are going to go with the 1-1 draw here. No one's really going to be celebrating at the end of that one. Meanwhile, a bit of a ding-dong, of course, coming at you. Crew, competing for players. Grimsby trying to secure themselves League 2 football for next season. 22 times they have played each other since 1998. We've got 11 wins for Crew, 7 wins for Grimsby, 4 draws, of course. Biggest win for Crew, 5-0 wins, scoring 35 goals in 22 matches, 1.59 goals a game. Grimsby, 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 21 goals in 22 matches, 0.95 goals a game as well. Grimsby just 1 win in the last 6, 21st in the table, 43 points for the campaign. Crew are 5th, 70 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6, just 1 defeat though, also in the last 5. Last time around, though, over in Crew, it was a 3-0 win for Grimsby, who have won, 4 in the bounce against Crew, conceding just the 1 goal, and that 1 goal was in the last time they played each other at Grimsby. It was a 2-1 win back in December. The odds for this, though, we are looking at Crew, 6-5 for the victory, 12-5 for the draw, 23-10 is your away win. Crew to win this one, 1-0 win in my eyes. Meanwhile, Gillingham against Barrow, of course, both sides in that playoff discussion, albeit I think Gillingham are on the way out. Played each other 3 times in 2022, nothing for Gillingham, 2 for Barrow, 1 draw. Of course, Gillingham yet to get a win over Barrow, scoring 2 goals in those 3 games, 0.67 goals a game on average. Barrow hanging on in there in those playoff spots. 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 5 goals in those 3 games, 1.67 goals a game on average. Back-to-back defeats for Barrow. I see them in 6th with 67 points for the campaign. They are 50% form for them right now. Gillingham, just 1 win in the last 6, 33% form for them right now. They are 13th with 60 points for the campaign. Last time around, the over end Gillingham, it was a 1-1 draw back in October 2022. The reverse fixture in Barrow was back in March. It was a 2-0 win for Barrow as well. Coming at you, though, this one, Gillingham's 8-5 for the victory, 70-10 is your Barrow, 12-5 is the draw here. Going to go with a point apiece. Not really happy for Barrow on that one, but I see it coming. Meanwhile, Crawley, again, big win for them, needed after a bit of a shit show this past weekend up against Colchester side. Desperate for points at the moment. Coming at you over at Crawley. Played each other 23 times in 2012. 11 was for Crawley, 4 for Colchester. 8 draws, of course. Crawley, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 32 goals in 23 matches, 1.39 goals a game. Colchester, 3-1 win, their biggest, scoring 25 goals in 23 matches, 1.09 goals a game on average. Just 1 win in the last 6 games for Colchester. 42% form for them right now. They are 23rd in the table with 38 points for the campaign against the Crawley side. 58% form for them right now, winning 3 of the last 6. They are 7th in those playoffs. 65 points for the season as well. Last time around, over in Crawley, was a 0-0 draw back in April 2023. The reverse fixture at Colchester was a 2-1 win for Crawley, who are unbeaten against Colchester over the last 6. 4 wins and a couple of draws to boot. The odds for this, 6-5 is your Crawley, 5-2 the draw, 11-5 your away win here. Crawley again to win this one. Colchester are in trouble, guys. Swindon Town up against Wimbledon, of course. Swindon season to forget, you would think. Wimbledon still in that playoff discussion. Played each other 10 times in 2011, 3 wins apiece, 4 draws, of course. Swindon 5-1 win the biggest, scoring 13 goals in those 10 matches, 1.30 goals a game. Wimbledon with a 4-0 win, scoring 13 goals also in those 10 games, 1.30 goals a game on average. The Dons, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6, just 1 win though in 5. 8th in the table, 62 points for the campaign. Swindon, 2 wins in the last 6 games, in fact 2 wins in the last 3, 19th in the table, 50 points for the season. And of course, last time around it was a 0-0 draw back in December 2022, the reverse fixture at Plough Lane, 4-0 win it was for Wimbledon. That's right. The odds for this though, Swindon and 9-5 for the victory, 11-8 is your Wimbledon, 13-5 is the draw. I'm going with the win for Swindon here. They got a good bit of form in the last 3 matches. Of course, Wimbledon desperate for some points to get in those playoff spots. I think Swindon will have the better of them this coming weekend. Harrogate Town up against Sutton United, coming at you over at Harrogate. Played each other 10 times in 2018. 2 wins for Harrogate, 7 wins for Sutton, 1 draw, of course. Harrogate 2-0 win the biggest, scored 9 goals in those 10 matches, 0.90 goals a game. Sutton 2-0 win their biggest, scored 15 goals in 10 matches, 1.50 goals a game on average. Just 1 defeat in the last 5 for Sutton United. They are 67% form for them right now, 22nd in the table against a Harrogate Town side. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Of course, 11th in the table, 61 points for the campaign as well. Both sides competing for big prizes here. Last time around, over in Harrogate, it was a 1-0 win for Sutton. The reverse fixture in Sutton was back in January. It was a 2-1 win for Harrogate as well. So exchanging victories there. 13-8 is your Harrogate, 13-8 is your Sutton, 12-5 is the draw. The bookies can't call it. Can I call it? No, yes I can. 2-1 win for Sutton on the road. They want it more, that's right. Meanwhile, Wrexham, of course, hoping to get over the line as well, taking on Forest Green, desperate for a win themselves. Coming at you over in Wales at the Racecourse Ground. Played each other 19 times, 2008. 8 was a Wrexham, 4 for Forest Green, 7 draws, of course. Wrexham 3-1 win the biggest, scoring 22 goals in 19 matches, 1.16 goals a game. The Vegans 3-0 win the biggest, scoring 19 goals in 19 matches as a goal a game on average. Just 1 win in the last 6 games. They're in 17% form are Forest Green, 24 for the table, 36 points for the season. Are they down? We'll see about that. Meanwhile, Wrexham, 4 wins the last 5 games, 67% form for them right now. They are second, 79 points for the season. Of course, last time around in Wales, it was a 3-1 win for Wrexham back in November 2016. The reverse fixture over at Forest Green was a 1-1 draw back in February this calendar year. The odds here, 5-2 on is your Wrexham, 30-2 is, of course, your Vegans, 4-1 is the draw here. I'm backing Wrexham with a comfortable 3-0 win, edging closer to League One. Walsall are up in action against Notts County. That's right, coming at you over at the Bescot. Played to the 15 times, turned 6. We got 6 wins for Walsall, 5 for Notts County, 4 draws, of course. Walsall still in the discussion there. 5-1 win the biggest, scoring 21 goals in 15 matches, 1.40 goals a game on average. Notts County 3-0 win their biggest, scoring 19 goals in those 15 matches, 1.27 goals a game on average. Now 50% form are Notts County, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. However, just 1 win in 4. They are 15th in the table, 55 points for the campaign. Walsall though, 50% form for them as well, 1-2 lost to and drawn to, 9th in the table, 62 points for the season, and of course still in that playoff chitter chatter. Last time around over at the Bescot, it was a 0-0 draw back in April 2015. That was in League One. The reverse fixture at Notts County was a 2-1 win for Walsall, who are unbeaten over the last 4 against Notts County in competitive action. The odds for this one is 11-10 is your Walsall, 12-5 is your Notts County, 5-2 the draw here. Walsall with a win here, 2-1 win, edging closer to that top 7. And then Doncaster, can they do it? Can they absolutely do it after a season to forget at the start of the campaign? They are on a fire right now. Played 14 times since 2006. 3 wins for Doncaster, 7 wins for Accrington, and we've got 4 draws, of course. The biggest win for Doncaster, 2-0 win, scoring 16 goals in 14 matches, 1.14 goals a game. Meanwhile, Accrington, 1-0 win, the biggest, scored 18 goals in those 14 matches, 1.29 goals a game on average. 50% form are Stanley, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6, just 1 win in 5. They are 17th in the table, 54 points for the season. Doncaster, 100% form for them right now, winning 8, at least unbeaten in the last 6, winning 6 on the bounce at home as well. 10th for the table, 61 points for the season. Last time around at the Keep Moat was a 2-2 draw. That was back in the FA Cup back in November 2023. That was this year, or this season. The last time I played each other in the league, it was a 2-0 win for Doncaster back in February 2022. That was in League One, of course. The reverse fixture at this. So let me slow down here. Let me slow down. So they have played each other 3 times already this season. This will be the 4th, of course. So the reverse fixture was a 0-0 draw at Stanley back in December 2023. Now these two sides also played in the FA Cup at the Keep Moat. 2-2 draw it was back in November 2023. The replay was over at Stanley. It was a 2-1 win for Doncaster, who were unbeaten against Stanley over those last 4 matches. Goodness gracious me. The odds for this one, though, we do have Doncaster 4-3 on for the victory, 14-5. The draw 7-2 is your Stanley here. We're going to go with Doncaster here, 2-0 win for them, edging closer to those top 7. And then wrapping up with a ding-dong. It's MK Dons against Mansfield. That's right. Could it be a bigger game? I don't think so. Played each other 8 times, done 6 forwards. MK Dons, 1 win for Mansfield. We got 3 draws, of course. The biggest win for MK, 2-1 win, scoring 10 goals in those 8 games, 1.25 goals a game on average. Meanwhile, Mansfield, the big 2-1 win themselves, scoring 7 goals in those 8 games, 0.88 goals a game. 42% for Mansfield right now, just 1 win in the last 4 matches. They are third. 76 points for the season against the MK Dons side, 4th in the table, 74 points for the campaign, and just 1 win in 1 defeat in the last 5 matches. Last time around at the Stadium MK, it was a 1-0 win for MK Dons back in May 2019. The reverse fixture over at Mansfield was a 2-1 win for MK Dons back in March. Of course, the odds for this one, though, 8-5 is your MK Dons, 12-5 is your draw, 70-10 is your away win here. 2-1 win for me for MK Dons, big win for them, edging closer to automatics, guys, and that, my friends, is just about that. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like. It'll look a little bit like this, with Stockport County 86 points, 10 points clear, with what, 3 games to play? That means promotion. Wrexham, of course, hoping to join them very, very soon. They're playing 1 game more than Stockport County. MK Dons also in the top 3, with Mansfield dropping into the 4th spot, with Crewe, Barrow, and Crawley in the top 7. But there's still lots to be said. Colchester and Forest Green Rovers edging closer to the drop. And if not, I think Forest Green Rovers will be relegated, mathematically anyway, with the results going their way. So it looks like they're doomed at the moment. But anyway, please smash your like, smash your subscribe. Catch me later for the next one. But of course, until then, we're done.